أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. International Journal of Agriculture and Biology, which is also called as IJAB. We are going to discuss the guidelines for the author for the submission and publication of any research article into IJAB or International Journal of Agriculture and Biology, which is an open access journal. International Journal of Agriculture and Biology, abbreviated as IJAB, it publishes peer review papers on all aspects of agriculture and biology, as reviews solicited or submitted, research articles, full length and short communications. It means that review articles can be submitted, research articles which are full length articles or short communications, they may also be submitted, and if found better, they may be published as well. Contributions are considered for evaluation on the understanding that they are original and not being considered for publications elsewhere. Upon preliminary evaluation and checking for plagiarism and format by the editorial office, the papers are sent to referees, which are actually the experts in their field, for evaluation purpose. The decision of the editor-in-chief to publish a paper in concurrence with referee's opinion is considered as final. We are talking about the guidelines to authors for publication of research article or review article into the IJAB, which is also called as International Journal of Agriculture and Biology. So, submission to publication cycle: articles will be published online within 1 month after the completion of peer review and after acceptance of the articles. Little bit about the scope of the journal. Although IJAB considers broad spectrum of submitted papers for publication, it is a prerequisite that the contributions have close relevance to experimental work in agriculture and biological disciplines. For the convenience of the authors, the priority areas include life sciences, agriculture chemistry, genetic engineering, biotechnology, bioinformatics, environmental sciences, means papers related to life sciences only. They will be published in IJAB. They will be included in the discipline of environmental sciences, medicine and health sciences, Persian agriculture. So these are the branches which are preferably considered for publications. Submission of manuscripts. Contributions in English may be sent by online submission by using www.fspublishers.org. Upon receipt, the manuscripts are allocated an identification number and reviewed initially by the editorial board, and if found suitable, that article is sent out for review. The manuscript not on the format or returned to authors Authors are discouraged to cite references from IJAB or JAS in order to avoid self citations. Review of a paper normally takes 2 months, and whatsoever is the decision whatsoever is that is conveyed to the corresponding author after acceptance, correction of proofs, and transfer of the copyrights to FS publishers. A paper is published on its return. Reviews. IJAB encourages the submission of reviews by the authors who have considerable attainment in their fields of specialization. Before submission of reviews, the authors are encouraged to contact the editor-in-chief. So, a little bit about format. Except in the case of reviews, contributions should be no longer than the equivalent of 6 printed journal pages, inclusive of tables, illustrations, and references. Short communications should follow the requirements for original research paper, but the text must not exceed 100 words. A typical page of text in the journal contains 520 words, roundabout approximately 520 words. Manuscripts should be typed on one side of A4 paper, double spaced, with 3 centimeter margin on each side, and paginated. Paging should be done. All contributions are subject to editorial revision. To strictly follow the style, authors should download sample paper and originate their paper strictly in line with it. A full-length paper must be organized as: first of all, there should be manuscript type, original research article, or review article, or short communication that should be mentioned initially. Number 2, title should be mentioned, complete title of your manuscript, species names without authority's name, that should be completely showed in the title. Running title should not be more than 60 characters with spaces. Authors, full names of the contributors along with their affiliations. Please do not use abbreviations. All names should have complete names, so there should be no abbreviation. A call is coming. For correspondence, email address of corresponding authors must be given, and novelty statement 4 to 5 points highlighting scientific merit of the work reported in manuscript, that should be mentioned as well. So after that, abstract should be mentioned, no more than 200 to 250 word, emphasizing objectives, important results, conclusions, and practical implications. They should be mentioned in abstract. Keywords should be of 4 to 6 words only. Introduction must highlight background of the problem in the light of recent literature, hypotheses to be tested, and specific objectives. They also be mentioned in the introduction. So hypotheses should also be mentioned in the specific, and also specific objectives, they should be mentioned in the introduction. Materials and methods should not be the point and explicit. Results should include statistical significance of treatment effect, etc. Discussion should be logical and reflecting the originality of the contribution and findings discussed in the light of most recent literature. Conclusion should be brief and reflect the essence of the work. Acknowledgement should be as brief as possible. Ethical guidelines for use and research on animals that should also be indicated in research paper, and after that references should be mentioned. Style references for text quotation is with date in parentheses, for example, as demonstrated by Chenside 1992, or with names and dates in parentheses according to recent findings, Chenside, 1992, or Basra and Iqbal in parentheses 1999, as described previously. Basra and Iqbal, 1999, or Rishika or Ricky Hisa et al. In parentheses 1999. So these are different styles of the references which can be followed for IJAB. So all these things are included. They should kept in mind and they should be followed for research paper to be published in International Journal of Agriculture and Biology. And finally, proofs upon satisfactory revision, acceptance and receipt of publication charges, the manuscript or typeset proofs are prepared and sent to authors for correction, which should be sent back immediately. Only minor corrections, no more than 5% of the data or text, are allowed at this stage. If the corrected proofs are not received by due date, the editorial office will make corrections and send the paper for final printing. Handling of proofs is done electronically. So this is all about the main points and authors guidelines which should be followed for having published paper in IJAB. Thank you very much. Jazakallahu khaira. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammadin wa ajil farajahum.